Hi everyone, my name is Dr. Taslim and I am here to talk to you about mindfulness. Mindfulness gets a bit of a reputation of maybe being a little fluffy, being about meditation, being about just being chill with everything. Mindfulness is really about being present and totally aware of everything around you without being attached to any of it. So let's take a second and just sit. Let's sit, maybe close our eyes, and notice any sensations in the body. Perhaps noticing your feet on the ground, the way your chest might move up and down as you take breaths, what it feels like to be supported in the chair that you're sitting in. And you can open your eyes. At any given moment, we're experiencing so much. We all have sensations in our body, we all have thoughts, we all have behaviors, and yet we're very rarely actually paying attention to everything. It might feel a little bit overwhelming to pay attention to all of the details. But what mindfulness is about being truly present, not being stuck in your thoughts, not being stuck in the sensations, simply being aware. And when we can do this, it actually allows us to free our minds and free our energy from whatever we might be feeling stuck in. So, how do we be mindful? Well, let's start by thinking about if we were observing our surroundings. Are we really paying attention to what's around us? If we are, that's one way that we're being mindful. Are we actively participating in the things that we're doing? So if you're watching this video right now, are you maybe also on your phone, maybe also listening to music, maybe also thinking about what you're going to have for your next meal? That is not being mindful. And if you're really just focusing on one thing at a time, really just paying attention, trying to be as engaged as possible, that is when we're being mindful. Now, our brains are not computers. We are not robots. And so we will have thoughts that come, like maybe, what are you going to have for your next meal? And so mindfulness is not about not having the thought at all. It's about recognizing that we're having a thought and then committing to refocusing on the task that we're doing. And so many people, if you've ever engaged in a mindfulness exercise, have probably heard of the activity of observing your thoughts, right? It's because realizing that we all have thoughts, and then taking a step back and being able to watch our thoughts lets us not be attached to them. Now, if I'm really, really hungry, it might be extra hard for me to focus on what I'm doing and let go of the thought of my hunger. But the more I can focus on letting the hunger go, the more I can be fully present. We also want to try to not be judgmental. And so taking a non-judgmental stance means recognizing that while we are having sensations, while we're having experiences, not judging them allows us to just be, to allow them to be, to allow everything to just be. So let's say again, I'm sitting here thinking about how hungry I am. If I then attribute the thought that being hungry is bad or being hungry is wrong, those are judgments. So I am allowed to exist in a state of hunger without attributing any kind of judgment to it. Judgments can sometimes get in the way of us being able to fully experience something because we've now put an interpretation on it, and that's going to skew the way that we perceive the entirety of the situation. So, mindfulness is about being present. It's about being non-judgmental, and it's about allowing for the full experience of whatever it is, even if we're just sitting here. So I invite you, next time you're listening to your favorite song, really just listen to it. Next time you're in the shower, just experience the shower. Try not to think about how late you are. Try not to think about what you're going to do next or what's waiting for you. Try to really just notice the temperature of the water the sensations. Notice the smells of the soap if you use a scented soap. Whatever it is, but just be there. Next time you're watching TV even. Instead of picking up your phone or being on your computer, really just watch what you're watching. Notice any sensations in your body. Notice any emotions that come up. Allowing yourself to be totally present and totally engaged. And when you notice yourself judging, recognize the judgment as a thought, let it go, and recommit to focusing on whatever it is that we're doing. Sometimes mindfulness is assumed to be the same thing as meditation, right? So sitting in silence, not really doing anything except focusing on either a specific word or a saying or our breath. That's one way of practicing mindfulness, but there are so many others. And so being able to do anything throughout your day mindfully gives you an opportunity to really connect with the experience, to be particularly present, and to really connect with yourself and the world around you in a way that allows us to just be. There's a bit of an assumption that when we multitask, we're actually being more productive, but that's not at all the case. When we're multitasking, we're more likely to make mistakes. Because our attention is divided, we're less likely to be intentional about any single thing, which also means that our productivity and the effectiveness of our work will be lower. So, instead of multitasking, try one thing at a time. Try turning the notifications off on your phone or your computer for a little while. Try just being totally focused. And again, when your mind wanders, which it will, recognize that it has wandered, acknowledge the thought, and let it go. I look forward to hearing about people's mindfulness journeys, and you'll find that mindfulness increases your well-being, your satisfaction with life. It helps people feel more emotionally regulated. It helps with concentration. It helps with productivity. It just helps us feel better. Try it out. See how it goes. For more information, reach out to silmentalhealth.com. Thank you.